I've had when I was having sex when I was younger. So now knowing what young boys were experiencing all along, right? I wonder if I should have waited because it gets greater later, right? So sex as a young adult did not compare to what I've experienced as a grown-up. Knowing what you all know now, would you rather have masturbated and waited to experience sex as an adult, or still be subjected to enjoyable but not so satisfying sex as a young adult?
I'd rather masturbate it.
No, I wouldn't rather. I wouldn't rather either.
I would have masturbated.
I waited.
I would have waited. I would have just.
Which life?
To what?
You waited where?
Like,
To win. So I could enjoy
Get
it.
the pearls and shut the shit up.
Take the pearls.
clench my pearls.
You got on pearls? Interesting.
She's sick. No, I wouldn't. I don't know. If I could have, I don't think I would have did either.
Exactly.
If I would have known, I wouldn't have done either.
If I
know what I know now, back then, if I could have saw my life now with sex, I wouldn't have did either then and just enjoyed it now.
No, well, for me, like I said, I waited because I experienced it.
This is
it
real
wasn't
talk in real time.
I know, and let me finish. I experienced it. It was nothing to write home about. So the next time that I experienced it, I didn't stop since then. Because it was a whole different experience. And I was older.
No, that's why I would say the same thing, because my first experience was basically like I had no experience. And then at 15 years old, I shouldn't have been doing that mess no-how. But then after my first experience...
we age dropping.
Oh, yeah.
No, after my first...
I didn't say age. I did it. It wasn't 15, nothing, but when I did it again, it was worth it.
My one experience was my only experience, and then I didn't have sex until I was 18 years old. 3 years later, after that one experience.
Yeah, it's worth it to wait.
Yeah,
but that's
you have feelings for the person.
But the question is not so much about waiting, because if I knew now the feeling that I could give myself, that I understand now, and knowing that I've had sex before and it didn't even compare until I'm at the age that I am now, and I understand my body, I know what I like, and it's so heightened, in comparison.
Yeah,
I would have masturbated to the wheels.
I don't think I would have wanted to feel that young.
Do you think that masturbating has helped you learn more about your body?
I know what makes me happy. Because of masturbation
from a man.
And honestly, when you're young, when you're a child, if you're 14 and you're 15 and you're having sex, it does not compare to what you will experience as an adult.
When you're 30.
Yes, and then you run the risk of catching diseases, having babies, slutting yourself out.
Smutting.
Slut, smut. You run the gamut, and if you're doing it already, but I'm not suggesting that you do either one. But the safer route, and I think that would have been best for me. Thank God I'm good, but I would have rather just have masturbated and waited until it was time for me to like.
But that's not something that you know. So
No, you don't. I'm asking, knowing like in hindsight, knowing what you know now and knowing how sex feels to you now. Would you have rather, if, in hindsight?
I would have masturbated. I would have waited.
Yeah, I would have done
either.
You said you wouldn't have done either.
You?
No.
You would have been masturbating.
I'm sorry.
I didn't stop masturbating until I was an adult.
And ask yourself why.
I just didn't. It wasn't popular. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? It's different now than how it was back then. I didn't masturbate until I was an adult, and now, it's a whole nother ball game. So I know I wouldn't have, because of, not even so much, but because of that. If I could have took the sex away and I already know what the masturbation was, I would have been good.
You'd have waited until how old?
Until I thought I was in love.
Yeah, because that
we think that's not an age.
At 12.
I thought I was in love.
And that, come on, stop. When you think you're in love.
What are you talking about? Listen, I can't put an age on how long I would have waited.
When was the first time you fell in love?
When I was 16.
So you
would wait till you were 16?
Yeah, when I was 16.
And you was having sex then?
I don't put my business in the street like that. I don't put ages on. You can age drop all you want. That ain't my thing.
Well, it's obvious that
I think we shouldn't stay away from the reality.
No.
The reality is, at that time, you were having sex, and
The reality.
Let me say it for myself. Hold on, let me say it for myself. Because you said you were in love at 16, so I'm thinking.
I said I would have waited until I was in love. And
Okay.
y'all said how old?
All right,
I said
so
I was 16.
whatever-
I never said I was having sex. I said I would have waited.
Whatever age that was,
Let's clear the air.
whatever age it was that you were having sex as
Draw your own
a
conclusion
child,
from that.
it was not meaningful until you got to a certain point. So you were doing it at whatever age it was.
Right.
So I just, well, like I said, for me, I probably would have waited and, explored myself. If in hindsight, is
I
what
fell in
is
love
what I'm
probably
asking.
about 19, 20, and it does make a difference. And
It
I
makes a huge
definitely would.
difference.
It makes a difference. If you love the person, the connection is unbelievable. So I would have waited. And I'm like Monique, I wouldn't have did either. Because what you don't know
Can't hurt you.
can't hurt you.
Well, I can honestly say that the first time I was like, what is this? Like, what is
Such
so...
a disappointment.
Yeah, like, everybody talks
Oh,
about
damn.
it.
Now I'm bleeding.
I mean,
This is my they used to say he bust the cherry the first time or whatever, however that stupid
The
story
Heineken.
was.
That's why you should. That's why every girl should wait because
Because of stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
You busted when you was riding on that bike. That bicycle.
cherry.
Or when you bumped it on the monkey bars.
My thing is, you don't know what it is. You don't know what
No, what to
going
expect.
Right.
You don't know anything.
You know nothing about your body
No.
at that point.
And you want somebody that loves you to be your first. Because that person will be patient. That person will be trying to make sure.
When they love you, love is patient.
No. I'm saying they'll give a crap about making sure that you enjoy the experience.
They can love you and still be selfish lovers.
I hope not. I don't know.
I think self-exploration actually helps you to get in tune to what it is that you like. But
It
I still
depends.
think
It depends.
that
It depends. I'm saying it depends. Yeah, it can make you know what it is that you like, but if you're not expressing that to the person that you're being intimate with, when it is another person and not your,
But I mean, hopefully
But you have to know
it's
first.
useless. But you have to know first.
Yeah.
And I just think that when you get to that point, you're old enough
Yeah.
to be able to mentally handle all of that, because a lot comes with that.
It's true.
But see, that's the
exploring yourself and getting into yourself.
But that's
You
the
can't wait
problem.
to get home.
When we were younger, we couldn't mentally handle any of it, but we were still doing it.
So that, I mean, for me, that's why I was like, I don't think I would want to deal. I don't think I would want to tell my teenager that one is better than the other, because I would want her to completely understand what it was that she's getting herself into before she took that venture.
You're not. That's not what I was saying. I wouldn't tell her one is better than the other, but if I caught her doing that, I wouldn't make her feel like it's wrong.
If she's having sex anyway, I'm not saying she is, but you know what I'm saying. If it's the things that we don't want to realize as parents.
Yeah. Are you ready to sit here
No.
and say that and out loud here?
No, we're young mothers.
No, and I'm being, and I've had to face myself. I've had to face being real. The things that we face as parents with teenagers is completely different.
From when we were kids.
Yes, it is completely different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because I even had the conversation, like, if you did, then tell me. She was like, oh, please, I know you would kill me.
Oh, damn.
And
that's
I'm
not good.
And I told her,
no,
it's good in some retrospect, because she's like, I know you would kill me.
Maybe that
was my opportunity as well to let her know. No, I would not kill you. We would talk about it. But
she think you.
I'm glad that she think that I would kill her, but I let her know that you don't have to be afraid.
But I don't think it's so much. Right, that's what I have to say. I don't even think it's so much that she probably feels that you would kill her, but. And that would make it more of a sneaky aspect. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if a child is so inferior of their parents, they're going to go around to do it without their parents finding out.
No, and I know that's why that was my opportunity
But
to
wait,
say that, you know what? If you do, it's okay. You can come talk to me about it.
You think it was?
She don't believe that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Let me say this. Looking at it from another perspective, being that child that like my mom didn't have to scare me, but at the same time, because I knew my mom didn't approve of certain things, I waited longer to do certain things. Because I knew that it was not something that was going to be accepted by my mother.
Yeah, accepted and inferior is two different things.
No, but you know what the other thing is?
I can see you.
Is that, I talked to her about my experience with my mother, and that was something, and Janice is my sister. We could talk about it. It was no secrets. When it was time, I said, I think we need to go get some pills because I may be ready. She was like, let's go. I mean, like, let's go. We walked right out the door.
But the relationship that you have with your mother, do you think your child is comfortable enough to say that to you?
I don't think she is, but I do tell her. Yeah. No, but I do share with her my experiences with my mother. But in hopes that she would become comfortable because I'm telling her, like, you know, I know that I'm this type of mom with you, but this is how my mom was with me. But we haven't crossed that road yet.
See, I'm scared.
But see, the best part about it
I think y'all scared for her.
The best I know is that she would have other outlets to go to, so that way you would still be in the loop. You wouldn't be so much outside the loop as like she would not come to you directly and tell you that.
You know what? Let me tell y'all the difference between when we were growing up and now. Why she wouldn't need an outlet to go to. That's why I want her to come to me, because she wouldn't have to go to any of you. Because at age 12. By law, you are no longer allowed in the examining room, and they do not have to discuss with you what is discussed with your child. It is strictly confidential. So from the time that she was 12 years old, I was no longer allowed to go inside of the room, and I had to build somewhat of a trust with her to say, well, what do they ask you? What do y'all talk about?
But that don't still.
No. But she told me. But if I didn't question her and say, and I wasn't high strong, I just like, well, what do y'all talk about? And she told me what they talk about. She said, you know, they asked, do you have sex? Do you smoke? Do you use drugs? Like all these things that she ran down to me, and I just was like, oh, okay. I didn't react.
But see, the crazy part about that is,
no, it's the regular doctor. You're not allowed. I have seen them like parents going, and they'll be like, have a seat in the waiting room. The mother's like, no, I'm going. No, you must sit in the waiting room.
I don't know.
I didn't have that experience with my daughter either. The doctor asked.
They don't do that with me.
Well, guess what?
I still get to go in the exam.
But guess what? If a situation comes about and she complains, guess what? Her doctor is in trouble.
No,
because they're breaching her confidentiality.
But remember, it's not just about if she's willingly having sex. They do that for a reason. Like if a parent is abusing that child, they need that child to feel comfortable enough to tell that doctor. It's not just about, is she sexually active with her little 12-year-old boyfriend. It's a lot of different things.
But it's a whole psychological aspect about that too that doctors can get to before you can even. Like a doctor can sit with a child and from a conversation know that child is sexually active. And if they're not. So
and the doctor needs to share that with the parent so the parent can take the necessary precautions.
However,
they will to a certain extent.
They will. If the child is deemed sexually active, then that's when they go to the parent and say that now I need your permission to give this to do this examination because she's sexually active. That's when the whole examination
that makes more sense because in any other case,
they don't let me do anything. But it makes me feel even better because evidently not GYN. When I said she's going to the GYN, he was like, no, she don't need to go.
They tell you can't go in the exam room.
She didn't tell me I couldn't go. She asked me if it was okay that she went alone.
Oh, really?
She asked me that, and I said
that's how they started off. But if you say no, it's not okay. I don't know where y'all kids go to the doctor, but I know where my kids go. Oh, you're not going in that room.
No, it's true.
They will not.
Has no choice.
It's a law. They can. You're not.
I'm not talking about the doctor. I'm talking about my child. She has no choice. I'm in the room.
No, it's not breach of confidentiality. It's between the doctor
and the parent. Confidentiality with a 12-year-old. But no, kids can't even take care of themselves.
It's crazy, but it is. I have not been in the examining room.
That's why say it again, please. That's why masturbation is an option because it is prevalent that they are doing so many different things, and if they are, not to say, maybe you should masturbate instead of having sex, but if the kid is having sex,
But doctors will be able to tell you that too.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
I can't tell you if they masturbating.
Yes, they